Hey, so I'm here to, this is part two, show you how to use the calculator to figure out how to post to your 1.9 thread. So real quick before we get started, I'm going to show you a little bit about why using the 1.9 thread can be helpful to you as a player. So this is just another tool in the statistics portion of this web page that I have found to be kind of helpful sometimes just to illustrate what I'm doing. So real quick, I'll show you the same example that I have before. I'm at level 8. I'm wanting to go up to 9. You can change this though. Let's actually say I want to go up to level 15. I'm going from 8 to 15. I want to know how long it's going to take me to get that far. Okay, I'm using a 1.9 thread, so 90%. In this instance, I'm going from level 8 to 15. I, as the owner, need to invest 2,995 forge points for that. The total cost of all of these levels would be over 5,000 forge points. So I'm saving quite a bit by doing it that way. If I also include the bonus investments and stuff that comes along, I'm saving a total of 993, so almost 1,000 forge points. If I'm taking advantage of this and things work the way it needs to. The chart here might be able to help you figure that out a little bit better and understand the numbers. So go from level 8 to level 15 on this particular building. Well, let's say I can commit 50 forge points every day for that. The estimated time is going to be 2 months. Now, if I did the same thing, 50 points, but I used it on swap threads, it would take me 3 months and 12 days to get it. So that's quite a bit of difference there. And it all depends on what you can commit, what you can't commit. Swap threads are still great. They have their place and you need to use them at the appropriate times. But this is a really good way of illustrating how, if you rely only on swap threads and you never take advantage of the 1.9 thread, it's actually going to take you a much longer time to level your buildings, and it's going to cost you a lot more in forge points. So this is just a good way of explaining or understanding why using a 1.9 thread can be helpful to you as a player in the game. Okay, let's jump back to the calculator real quick. Here's our example. I got rid of my investors and I went back to the amount of force points that I needed to put in here in order to secure the first 2 spots. So now I'm ready to post this in my 1.9 thread in the guild. So how do I do that? Well, part of it is, how does your guild actually want you to post things? What format do they want you to use um, when you post in your 1.9 thread? This calculator actually has a way for you to mimic the format that your guild asks for. Some guilds are very particular and they want it done a very specific way. Some guilds are pretty relaxed about things, and as long as you get the pertinent information in there, they really don't care what the format is. But this is a way that you can actually format this, and then all you have to do is copy and paste, and it works really easily. So for me, I like to always have my name in first, so I add that as a prefix. That way, once I put that in there, I don't have to worry about it because I have my cookies turned on. So this calculator website will keep track of all the settings that I put in here, and every time I go in to use this, it will keep that the same. So I put my name in first with a hyphen, and then you can use these check marks here to turn on or off different things for the format. So I prefer, and in the guild, this is pretty much how I've always seen it done, is we like to use the short name rather than the full name of the building because it gets pretty wordy after a while. So as long as everyone understands what the short name, the abbreviation is for that building, you're fine. Showing the level, a lot of times people will put that in there. I just feel like it kind of takes up space and makes it a little bit more cluttered. So more often than not, I will shut that off because it really doesn't matter, I don't think, what level you're putting in there, unless you've got something very specific that you're aiming for and you've had a discussion with your guild and that's why they want you to make sure you have your level in there. So at least it's an option. I usually turn it off because it's just, to me, it's a little bit more cluttered, but depends on what you want. And then you can also turn on or off the the secured places. So if you shut that off, it's going to show all of the places, whether you have secured them or not. I prefer to make sure that I am only showing those secured places because I do not want my building to get sniped and people who are investing with me to get sniped and lose their spots. So I just only show the secured places, and we discussed that a little bit in the previous video. So for our particular guild, I tend to use the second one because that just seems to be the one that I see most often used in our guild. As I said, our guild is a little bit more relaxed. We just make sure that we have the pertinent information. So who the building owner is, the name of the building, the places that we are working towards, and the number of forge points that we're asking for each of those places. So once you get that done, all you have to do is copy. That puts it into your clipboard. You can go back into your game. And I did this earlier in a previous video demonstration, and then my dog went crazy and I had to ditch that video. But what I would do is then go into my message, paste, and this is what would end up there. So now whoever wants to become an investor in my building would come in here, they would copy that line, paste it in here. They would say, okay, well, I want place 1. So they would erase that out of there and leave place 2 so that the next investor who wants to come in can come in and take place 2. Then they would go to my building, add that 124 points, and they've locked in their place. So I'll show you, I'm going to scroll up a little bit so I can show you another example of this from a couple of days ago. Let's see, we'll go with this. So right here, a couple of days ago, I posted my St. Mark's Basilica. It's at a very low level. And so when I put in my forge points to start out as the owner, it actually opened up the top 3 slots. And slot 4 and 5 didn't have any bonus rewards. And so I just, well, place 4 did have, but I already had someone who had put a few forge points on there, so I just let them take that spot. But anyway, I posted this. It's place 1, the number of forge points I wanted. The next person who came along, in this instance, oh, well, this was me. I was taking a place. She had posted her Blue Galaxy. She included the level here that she was going for and the numbers. Notice she's got her places backwards from what I have mine. So just make sure that you're paying attention to that. And if your guild has any rules as to how that works, then do that. The reason why people would place it this way is because sometimes it's a lot easier when you copy a message and put it in there. It's easier to start from the end and erase this way. So then you can erase place 1 and leave the rest there. You don't have to try and get your cursor in the wrong place. And that's especially helpful for people who are using mobile. So keep that in mind. I probably should switch mine around, but I didn't in this instance, and maybe I'll do that going forward. But anyway, so in this post, my next post, I realized, hey, I want to take her place 2. It was available, or place 3, and I knew someone had already called the first place, so I wasn't too worried about that one getting sniped. So when I posted this next one, I'd already cleared my CDM at that point. So I put her building in. I took place 3. I went and put my 19 forge points on her building, and then I made sure that my building was next. And then, I don't know why my scrolling doesn't work very well on this machine, but for some reason it doesn't. And then later someone else came in. The person who had called the first slot came in and took it, so it was gone. She made sure that that was taken care of. She came in, took my first place, left the other 2, erased the first place, left the other 2. Someone came in, took her 4th place, so they came in and put clear. Whenever we're done with the building, investments are no longer available, we put clear. That way we know that this can be knocked off the list. Nobody else needs to see it. And you don't have to have the list here if you don't want to. Sometimes people put it in there, sometimes people don't. And then she also came in and took my 2nd place, erased that, left the 3rd, and then I had someone who talked to me and took the 3rd place, and so I just came in and said clear, because this one was already gone, mine was the only one left on the list, and then it was gone because somebody had used it, and I apologize, that's my dog who I thought was taking a nap, but who is now playing with her toy. Okay, so that is how that works. This is what it would look like when you copy and paste. But like I said, you can go in there and change the format. So that's the end of that video. I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you want anything else explained to you.